Well, good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
So my talk title today is "What's Love Got to Do with It?" Really should have been "What's Love Got to Do with It?" So it's not uncommon, as you know, during the month of February, which includes the celebration of Valentine's, which is a celebration of love, that Unity churches often take that time to talk about our spiritual power of love. So when Carmen asked me what my talk title was, I'm like, the first thing that came to mind was, what's love got to do with it? I should have worn some crazy barrettes or something. And the first thing that comes to mind is the late great Tina Turner. And I can envision her with her crazy hair and her stilettos proclaiming, who needs a heart when a heart can be broken? And it's easy in times such as these to relate and agree with the lyric cynicism. Am I right? Right? So do you know what the answer is to what's love got to do with it?
Everything.
Well, all right, I can go home now. Right. Love has everything to do with everything. Charles Fillmore, co-founder of Unity, defines love in the revealing word as the pure essence of being, which binds together the whole human family. He also states that love is the great harmonizer and healer, that whoever calls on God as Holy Spirit for healing is actually calling on divine love. Divine love will bring your own to you, adjust all misunderstandings, and make your life and affairs healthy, happy, harmonious, and free. Right? And we have that power intrinsically within us. It's really our true nature. 1 John 4:16 says that God is love, and whoever abides in love abides in God, and God abides in them. Right? It's a way of connecting with the true nature of who we are and who we came here to be. I believe that love is our greatest honor, that it is also our everlasting legacy, and that it lasts longer than a lifetime. Think about it, right? We know that we have people and friends and loved ones that have passed, but we still love them, and we still hold them dear in our heart. And so we have the responsibility to show up as love, to leave that as a legacy for our loved ones here and the people that we may never meet. But because they came in contact with someone that came in contact with us, they've been lifted up somehow, in some way. So why? Why would I say, what love got to do with it?
Never gets old.
Well, has anyone turned on the news lately or been on social media lately? Anyone feeling cynical like Tina? Like, who needs a heart when a heart can be broken? Anyone, have a little bit of attitude about things going on in the world? No stilettos required. Years ago, I heard that when our hearts are broken, that it's to let more love in. But Reverend Ogun Holder taught me a different perspective. That when our hearts are broken, it's so that we can let more love out. That we can let more love out into this world. I think the world needs our light, and it needs our love more than ever. How many of you have ever heard of Valerie Kaur? Valerie Kaur is the founder of the Revolutionary Love Project. Valerie became an activist when her Sikh, whatever pronunciation, they're both, I found on the line that they're both equally used. When a Sixth father and family friend was one of the first people murdered in the hate violence in the aftermath after 9/11. He owned a gas station, and he was well loved in his community. And he was out planting flowers, but he had on his turban, and he was murdered. And that really spun her into that there has to be a better way. So the Revolutionary Love Project, their vision is this. They imagine a world where no one is outside of our circle of care, that we are building a movement to make love the foundation of who we are and what we do. Does that sound familiar? It sounds a lot like what we're trying to create here, right? Create a loving circle where people come in and be welcomed and nurtured and supporting. Valerie states that some days will be so deadly that you will taste the ash in your mouth. Your sacred task will be to lift your gaze and realize that you are not alone in the dark, that there are more of us than ever before, millions of us longing for a world of love and liberation. So imagine we are in the dark together, that we're not alone, right? Because it can feel like at times, especially when we turn on the news and we're on social media and we're just being inundated with information that doesn't really jive with who we said we came here to be, that we can feel alone in the world, but we're not. We're not. There's many of us that want to create a loving environment where everyone has the right to be who they are, love who they are, thrive and prosper. Isaiah 54:10 says that though the mountains may be shaken and the hills be removed, yet my unfailing love for you will not be shaken, nor my covenant with peace be removed. So it's times like this that we need to remember that the everywhere presentness of God of love is right where we are, right here, right now. And that we can choose to love. We can choose to be love in action, like that song. Love is our decision. So how do we get there? Well, today, for me, our spiritual practices are more essential than ever. Your testimony, Sky, was perfect because you were talking about how this book group that you attend has really helped you stay grounded in peace. So I know that I'm really preaching to the choir. Actually, I talk. But those spiritual practices of attending that book group, your Friday night spiritual practices, your prayer, the prayer class that Bob is offering, are all ways that you can support yourself in remembering the truth and pivoting from the world of reactivity to an inner world of responsibility. We are, what's that third unity principle, right? That we create. We are creators. So we create through our words and our actions. So we need to be mindful about what we're speaking and what we're thinking. It doesn't mean that we don't feel. I would never say don't feel. I'm one of those people that you need to feel it to heal it. But we don't have to stay there, and we don't have to respond from that place. So our spiritual practices, and today what I'm going to do is lead us through a loving kindness meditation. And we're going to go a little deeper and longer with it because I really want to sit with it, because that's a great tool in your time of prayer meditation if you are feeling restless, to bring yourself back in to a place of peace and love. So times like these call for radical self-care, to be gentle with yourself. Making sure you're taking care of your body temple. Drinking lots of water. Getting the rest that you need. Taking a break from social media if you need to, or the news. I don't have cable. I watch like Hulu and all those type of things. So I had downloaded the app for Channel 5 during all these storms so that I could keep abreast of the, road conditions and weather. And I'm telling you, like, I cannot wait to delete that app because every 5 minutes I'm being deluged with some kind of catastrophe that's happening in the world. And I'm like, I don't need that much information coming towards me. And I think sometimes in our, these phones that we have, in fact, I'll be using my phone today, which is great, that we have the technology at our fingertips. But I think in some ways, it's nice to take a pause and a break. Maybe put your phone in another room for a while, or break or on silence or whatever, so that you're not inundated with all of that. So if you find yourself falling short, here's a gentle reminder that I love from Jim Palmer. He used to be he used to be a minister of a mega church, and he left that because he didn't feel like it was in alignment with who he came here to be. And he says, God's love is not a spigot that turns on and off based on your performance. So if you find yourself not showing up the way that you want to, be gentle with yourself, forgive yourself, and then in new thought, what do? We choose a different thought. And here's a little bit more from Valerie Kaur. She says, we must be brave with our love, braver than before. And she says, first, know that you're not alone, that your breathlessness is not a sign of your weakness, it is a sign of your strength. It means you're awake to the magnitude of what is happening. And she says, choose your focus. You are a part of the whole, trust your part. And that we need you right where you are. So what is your role? What is your focus? We know that thoughts held in mind produce after their kind, right? So whatever we're thinking about predominantly is what we're creating in the world around us. So it's okay to have a thought that we might perceive as negative, but we have the opportunity in that moment to change our thoughts, to just be aware. Jen mentioned The Eye of the Storm, which is a perfect book for that. There's a section in each chapter called Aware Therapy, and what it is about being aware of where your thoughts are. That when you're not connected, when you're connected to your wholeness and worth, you realize that nothing and no one is against you, and that's a great practice. And what is awesome about that book too is they talk about instead of when someone comes at you with a complaint, instead of like getting defensive, we take a pause and we breathe and we say, tell me more. Tell me more. Because generally when we get behind every complaint is an unmet need that may have nothing to do with what's happening. It takes a lot of spiritual maturity to be in a place of love and do that. But I think the world requires us to do that now, more so than ever before, to take that moment to pause and to breathe and ask, what would love have me say here? And how can I create an opening? How can I use my power of understanding as a verb? So tell me more. Tell me more about what is going on for you. And then when they say, tell me more. Tell me more. There is such healing and feeling listened to and heard. And we can give that gift to another. but it requires us to be mindful and fully present. You know, just be mindful of where you're placing your energy. You know, be a helper. You know, one thing that I'm really happy with our region is that we are really committed to DEI trainings, which are diversity, ethics, and inclusivity. And I'm really grateful that we're really committed to that. In fact, we're going to be upping our teachings of that throughout the year, different offerings. And you don't have to be a minister or an LUT to attend those as well. But it broadens our power of understanding and wisdom when we exercise those. So random acts of kindness. So I moved recently. I'm now in it's a house, but it's an apartment building. And there are 4 different tenants, 4 different groups. And the tenants that moved next door to me are beautiful. They're a younger couple. I mean, they're not really kids, but to me they're kids. But the first thing that Ryan did and Gabriella did is they put a note in everyone's mailbox. Hi, we just moved in. Here's our telephone numbers, and we just want you to know if you ever need anything, please reach out to us. So he has been shoveling out our next door neighbor across the street who is elderly and doing his walkway because he knows he's elderly. He helped me with the end of my driveway. And now what he does is somebody actually gave him a snowblower, right? Because he's been doing these acts of kindness. He's like, I have a snowblower I'm not using that just has a flat tire. So now he's increased his ability to support his neighbors. And here's a really cool part, right? So now he does the driveways with the snowblower. And the one thing I can do is I have a really long telescopic scraper, so I can go out and clean everyone's car off. So we've been working as a team, right? I don't know my neighbors, but you want to know something? Because of Ryan and his act of kindness, I now know that it's Dave that lives next door, and it's Jen that lives to the left of me. Where I lived before for 13 years, I don't even know what my neighbors were across the street from me. We waved and we talked occasionally, but I didn't know what their names are. Just because he performed an act of kindness that inspired me to perform an act of kindness. Now there's a wine fairy that has also, because I came home and there was a bottle of wine. Now I had given, outside my door, and I had given them a bottle of wine for helping me. And I'm thinking, oh, I'm sorry you didn't like the wine. I thought I was getting the bottle of wine back. No, it was some random person dropped a bottle of wine. And I got a bottle of wine and they got a bottle of wine. So it's...
It's a happy neighborhood.
It is. It is. But you get my point, right? All because someone said, hey, I'm new to the neighborhood and how can I help? How can I help? We all need that. Because you know what? We all need help in some way or another. And if we're not the ones that need the help in the moment, then we can be the helper. We can be the person that's doing that. My friend Carl, and I know I've mentioned it before, Carl is the reason I'm an LUT because he supported my path financially for me to go out to the village. But Carl's thing is he believed that woman, he didn't say woman ruled the world. I wouldn't disagree with it. But he said that if you support a woman, you support a village. So he would support women that he knew were doing work out in the world. So he supported me on my path. He supported others as well. That was his way, his little niche of how he could make the world a better place, was by supporting women he knew that were out there supporting others. So what is yours to do? What can you do? And as I mentioned before, the eye of the storm, I was going to talk about the eye of the storm and the Four Agreements, that those are really good books to pick up right now. Not taking things personally is a really good one. Always doing your best. Be impeccable with your word. And what's the fourth one? Why am I trying to blank on the fourth one?
Don't take anything personally.
I did mention that. Yeah. Be impeccable with your word.
Do your best.
Always do your best.
We read that for
We all read that
too.
I know. And we're all going, I think we might all need to read it again, right? Another way to do this is to form prayer circles. Reach out to others. Everyone can pray. Everyone can pray. Everyone can take a moment to just even meditate together for 5 minutes. So we all have that within us. Reach out to your friends. Reach out to your family. Hey, every Monday at 6 o'clock I'm going to sit in the silence and send love to the planet. Whatever it is, but we can all do that. We don't have to even leave our homes for it. And so I'm going to leave you here with one of my favorite quotes from Pierre Teilhard de Chardin. He says that someday, after mastering the winds and the waves and the tides of gravity, we shall harness for God the energies of love, and then for a second time in the history of the world, man will have discovered fire. So let's take this into meditation. And what I'm going to invite you to do is just get really comfortable in your chair. Take anything out of your lap. You may want to put your hand over your heart. I always find that really grounds me. Wiggle your toes. See if you can have your breath bring you from your head into your heart. Take a deep cleansing breath. So we're going to take a moment to unconditionally love ourselves. Have you zigged when you should have zagged? How have you been talking about your body? I invite you to send love to those areas of your body that could use some extra love right now. Can you offer forgiveness to yourself? Just imagine this soft glow of pink love enveloping you right here and right now. Let it flow from your crown chakra throughout your body. Seeing every cell infused with love and light. If you can, see if you can soften your body. If you've been holding tension in your shoulders or your back or your neck, see if you can just gently release that right here and right now. And repeat these words to yourself silently. May I be at peace. May my mind and heart remain open. May I awaken to the light of my own true nature. May I be healed. May I be a source of healing for all beings. May I be at peace. May my mind remain open. May I awaken to the light of my own true nature. May I be healed. May I be a source of healing for all beings. And now we're going to expand that light and that love, letting it expand to everyone who is in this room with us. To this town and city, to the state of Massachusetts, to our friends, to our family, to our co-workers, seeing that love expanding. Now bring to mind those that we may be concerned about. Also those that we may be in a disagreement with. You know, are you still arguing with someone in your head? Annoyed with someone? And this includes, you know, our leaders. In our country, and in the world beyond. Let's include them now in this blessing. May you be at peace. May your heart remain open. May you awaken to the light of your own true nature. May you be healed. May you be a source of healing for all beings. Allowing our love to work as us as a conduit beyond personalities, beyond perspectives, to the soul of each individual. And repeat these words silently. May you be at peace. May your heart remain open. May you awaken to the light of your own true nature. May you be healed. May you be a source of healing for all beings. And envisioning that love expanding and growing and multiplying and magnifying. Now we offer the blessing to this planet, to all people near and far, to all animals and insects and plants and land and bodies of water, whatever comes to mind for you. expands and grow. And then I invite you to repeat this silently. May there be peace on earth. May the hearts of all people be open to themselves and each other. May all people awaken to the light of their own true nature. May all creation be blessed and be a blessing to all that is. May there be peace on earth. May the hearts of all people be open to themselves and to each other. May all people awaken to the light of their own true nature. May all creation be blessed and be a blessing to all that is. First Corinthians 3:13. If I speak in the tongues of men or of angels, but do not have love, I am only a resounding gong or a clanging cymbal. If I have the gift of prophecy and can fathom all the mysteries and all knowledge, and if I have faith that can move mountains, but do not have love, I am nothing. If I give all I possess to the poor and give only over my body to hardship that I may boast, but do not have love, I gain nothing. Love is patient, love is kind. It does not envy, it does not boast, it is not proud. It does not dishonor others. It is not self-seeking. It is not easily angered. It keeps no record of wrongs. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices in the truth. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres. Love never fails. But where there are prophecies, they will cease. Where there are tongues, they will be stilled. Where there is knowledge, it will pass away. For we know in part, and we prophesy in part. But when completeness comes, what is part in part disappears. When I was a child, I talked like a child, I thought like a child, I reasoned like a child. When I became a man, I put away childish thoughts behind me. For now, we see only the reflection in the mirror. We shall see face to face. Now I know in part, then all I shall know fully, even as I am fully known. And now these three things remain: faith, hope, and love. And the greatest of these is love. So what's love got to do with it? Everything. And when you're ready, you can come back into this time and space, fully equipped to carry that love and light into the world around you. So it is.